there! Today we're going to be reviewing a book. This one is by Claudia Gray. As far as I'm aware, I think this is the second book that I've read by this author. Maybe it's my first. So Claudia Gray, and the book is called Spellcaster, and it's part of a series. I'm on the second book right now, but I really enjoyed this first book. I think that she has some great characters within this book. The main character is fun and likable. She she has some interesting stuff going on in her life. And she has some romance that she gets into when she moves to this new town. And she's a witch too. So a main part of it is that she's a witch, and her mother, who is supposed to help her with her training, has left. Has kind of left her father, left her family, and she's moving to this new town and trying to start over. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this new town. So it's interesting in that it's got a good main character. It's got a good character for a guy for the romance part. And then it's got a third character who is a friend character, who is a girl that is pretty interesting too, and is interacting with the main character witch and the boy. So they have interesting relationships and dialogues throughout the book. I think that she develops the love story well, in that the different scenes that come up are interesting. She has a great evil character in the book, and so that makes for an interesting story when you have the good main characters and a good evil person kind of like interacting and having a lot of crazy stuff happen that the heroines have to try to defeat or do something about. So Spellcaster, really enjoyed the book. I found it to be entertaining, and I didn't guess what was going to happen right away, although some of the things are kind of guessable as to how things will work out. There were some things that were that were coming up, part of the plot, that were interesting, that maybe you didn't see coming, or she put some thought into writing it. One thing I will say is the first chapter, maybe, or the first pages I was reading, it took me a little while to get into it, because she did write it well, and it goes from one thing to another well. Because she did write it well, it was a slight bit slower in the beginning than some books that I know go to a whole bunch of things right away. This book had one main thing happening right away, and gave you some backdrop and stuff to kind of get you familiar with the character and what was going on. So I really like that. So let me read the inside of the book to you. See if you might be interested in reading this. When Nadia's family moves to Captive Sound, she instantly realizes there's more to the place than meets the eye. Descended from witches, Nadia can sense that a spell has been cast over the tiny Rhode Island town, a sickness infecting everyone and everything in it. The magic at work is darker and more powerful than anything she's come across, and has sunk its claws most deeply into Mateo, her rescuer, her friend, and the guy she yearns to get closer to, even as he pushes her away. Mateo has lived in Captive Sound his entire life. Swallowed by small-town gossip and his family's tormented past, every generation, the local legends say, a member of the family goes mad, claiming to know the future before descending into insanity. When the strange dreams Mateo has been having of rescuing a beautiful girl from a car accident actually come true, he knows he's doomed. Despite the forces pulling them apart, Nadia and Mateo must work together to break the chains of this terrible family curse and to prevent a coming disaster that even now threatens the entire town, including Nadia's family, her newfound friends, and her own life. Shimmering with magic and mystery, New York Times bestselling author Claudia Gray's new novel depicts a dark and unforgettable world of witches, curses, buried secrets, and star-crossed romance. Yeah, so star-crossed romance is kind of a thing going on because they want to be together, but they're having some issues, difficulties. So I would really recommend this first book. The second book I can't say yet because I haven't finished reading it, but I'll definitely do a review on it and let you know how I like the second book and what I thought of it. So if you haven't read any of Claudia Gray's books, this is definitely a good read. There were parts in the book that reminded me of the series, what is it, with the kids. It's that series with the kids where like the dark matter, like bad stuff is like getting around town and they have to like fight it. Stranger Things, that's the thing. Yeah. So there were parts of this with the magic and the dark magic that reminded me of Stranger Things. And I think when you start to read it and you start to get descriptions of certain things, you'll kind of like picture some of the stuff from Stranger Things in there. I happened to just watch the Stranger Things on Netflix. I have not read the books for that, but the Netflix series that I watched, just some of the descriptions in the book kind of remind me of that kind of stuff. It is like, you know, kind of young teen kid book with young teen kid romance stuff. I think some of the plot was very intriguing though to me. So that's what made it a little bit different from other books, is the setup for the plot and the good background and description for the characters and what's going on, and then having them do some interesting things throughout the book. So if you're interested, pick it up from your local library or you can order it online. I'll try to get some links below to order online eventually. So yeah, hope you like it. Bye-bye.